Hello, skinny. Ooh. Hello, skinny mommies and daddies. I'm actually going to try to look in the camera this time because I kept not doing that in like the past 4 videos. So, anyways, couple updates. One, I was being dramatic about the boy. Not about the boy. Actually, I don't know if I am. I probably am. I so am because he was like, I'd love to hang out. I'm so dramatic, y'all. And that was actually it. Guess what we're doing today? You can probably see by the title. I'm going to read Canto 4 and 5. And also, I'm probably not always going to have daily uploads on this channel. I'm just doing that for now because I have nothing better to do with my life. So, slay. I should probably throw this out. I was eating them with a chopstick earlier. With chopsticks. Not just one chopstick, just like... Okay. Slay. Okay, let's just like fucking get right into it. Who cares? Let me make sure that we... Okay, cool. Canto 4. The first circle, Limbo, virtuous pagans, and the unbaptized. The 4 poets, Homer, Horace, Ovid, and Lucan, I don't know. The noble castle of philosophy. Broke the deep lethargy within my head, a heavy thunder, so that I upstarted, like to a person who by force is wakened. Yeah, he like, I think I said this in the last episode, but like, in order to progress the story, Dante just fucking, like, he just like, just passes out. It's like the most, no offense to Dante Alighieri up in there, but it's like the most lazy writing I've ever read, so. And round about I moved my rested eyes, uprisen erect, and steadfastly I gazed, to recognize the place wherein I was. True is it that upon the verge I found me, of the abysmal valley dolorous, that gathers thunder of infinite ululations. You know what, we should probably fucking look this shit up. Where's my phone at? Who cares? We're not looking it up. Wait, no, I have my laptop literally right here. I love the future. How do you spell it? Ululation. An utter, loud, and usually protracted high-pitched rhythmical sound, especially expresses sorrow, joy, celebration, or reverence. Well, that's just like many different things. How do you say it though?
Ululate.
Ululations. There you go. Ululations. Obscure, profound it was, and nebulous, so that by fixing on its depths my sight, nothing whatever I discerned therein. Let us descend now into the blind world, began the poet, pallid utterly. I will be first, and thou shalt be second. And I, who of his color was aware, said, How shall I come if thou art afraid? Who'r't wont be to be a comfort to my fears, and he to me, the anguish of the people who are below here in my face, depicts that pity which for terror thou hast taken. Let us go on, for the long way impels us. Thus he went in, and thus he made me enter the foremost circle that surrounds the abyss. There, as it seemed to me from listening, were lamentations, none but only sighs, that tremble made the everlasting air. And this arose from sorrow without torment, which the crowds had, and that many were and great, of infants and of women and of men. To me, the master good, thou dost not ask what spirits these which thou beholdest are. Now will I have thee know, ere thou go farther. I think ere means, I've heard it means before. So before thou go farther. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was about to look it up, but then I was like, I'm right. I'm always right. That they sin not, and if they merit had, 'tis not enough, because they had not baptism, which is the portal of thy faith, of the faith thou holdest. And if they were before Christianity, in the right manner they adored not God, and among such as these am I myself. For such defects, and not for other guilt, lost are we, and are only so far punished, that without hope we live on in desire. Great grief seized on my heart when this I heard, because some people of much worthiness I knew, who in that limbo were suspended. Tell me, my master, tell me thou, my lord, began I with the desire of being certain of that faith which o'ercometh every error. Came any one by his own merit hence, or by another's, who was blessed thereafter? And he who understood my covert speech replied, I was a novice in this state, when I saw hither come a mighty one, with sign of victory and incoronate. Corona. They knew about Corona in this bitch. Hence he drew forth the shade of the first parent, and that of his son Abel, and of Noah, of Moses the lawgiver, and the obedient Abraham patriarch, and David king, Israel with his father and his children, and Rachel, for whose sake he did so much, and others many, and he made them blessed. And thou must know that earlier than these never were any human spirits saved. We cease not to advance because he spake. Is that like their past tense form of spoke? Spake? Wait, hold on. See, this I need to look up. I'm just gonna keep my laptop open. Spake. The archaic past of speak. That's kind of everything to me. He spake. But still we're passing onward through the forest. The forest says, say I, of thick, crowded ghosts. So, yeah, these are people who lost our way and are only so far punished that without hope we live on in desire. And that is this picture right here. Look at those poor souls right there. How sad. Also, look, my nail broke today. I'm sad. Not very far as yet our way had gone, this side the summit, when I saw a fire that overcame a hemisphere of darkness. We were a little distant from it still, but not so far that I in part discerned not that honorable people held that place. O thou who honorest every art and science, who may these be with such great honor have, that from the fashion of the rest it parts them? And he to me, the honorable name that sound of them, above there in thy life, wins grace in heaven that so advances them. In the meantime, a voice was heard by me. All honor be in the preeminent poet. His shade returns again that was departed. After the voice had ceased and quiet was, 4 mighty shades I saw approaching us. Semblance had they nor sorrow nor glad. To say to me began my gracious master, him with that falchion in his hand, behold, who comes before the 3, even as their lord. That one is Homer, poet sovereign. He who comes next is Horace, the satirist. The third is Ovid, and the last is Lucan. I'm just gonna say Lucan. I don't know if it's not, it shouldn't be Lucian because there's no I, but who knows. Because to each of these with me applies the name that solidarity voice proclaimed, they do me honor, and in that do well. Thus I beheld assemble the fair school of that lord in the song preeminent, who o'er the others like eagle soars. When they together had discoursed somewhat, they turned to me with signs of salutation, and on beholding this my master smiled. And more of honor still, much more they did me, in that they made me one of their own band, so that the 6th was I, mid so much wit. Aww. He's like, oh my god, they like want to be friends with me. Thus we went on as far as to the light, things saying 'tis become to keep silent, as was the saying of them where I was. We came unto a noble castle foot, 7 times compassed, with lofty walls, defended round by a fair rivulet. This we passed over, even as firm ground. Through portals 7 I entered with these sages. We came into a meadow of fresh verdure. People were there with solemn eyes and slow, of great authority in their countenance. They spake but seldom, with gentle voices. Thus we withdrew ourselves upon one side into an opening luminous and lofty, so that they all of them were visible. There opposite upon the green enamel were pointed out to me the mighty spirits, whom I have seen I feel myself exalted. And then, thus I beheld assemble the fair school of that lord of the song preeminent, who o'er the others like an eagle soars. And this is the picture. It's all the boys. It's the band of men. He's meeting all his little poet friends, his little poet idols. Kind of cute. I saw Electra with companions many, amongst who I knew both Hector and Aeneas, Caesar in armor, or Kaiser, I think it's supposed to be Kaiser. Yeah, I play Fallout New Vegas. That's Fallout 4, but, you know. Kaiser in armor with gerfalcon eyes. I saw Camilla and oh gosh, Penthesilea. On the other side, I saw the king Latinus, who with Lavinia his daughter sat. I saw that Brutus, who drove Tarquin forth, Lucretia, Julia, Marcia, and Cornelia, and saw alone apart the Saladin. When I had lifted up my brow a little, the master I beheld of those who know sit with his philosophic family. All gaze upon him, and all do him honor. There I beheld both Socrates and Plato, who near him before the others stand. Democritus, who put the world on chance, Diogenes, Anaxagoras. Guys, I'm not going to be pronouncing any of these right. Please don't get mad at me. Thales, Zeno. We got Zeno up in here. Tom Cruise is like Empedocles and Heraclitus. Of qualities I saw the good collector high Dioscorides, and Orpheus I saw, Tully and Livy, and moral Seneca, Euclid, geometrician, Ptolemy, Galen, Hippocrates, Avicenna, Avros, who the great comet made. I cannot all of them portray in full, because so drives me onward the long theme that many times the word comes short of fact. The sixfold company in two divides, another way my sapient guide conducts me, forth from the quiet to the air that trembles, into a place I come where nothing shines. So yeah, that was the first circle of HE double hockey sticks, where just like people who, what the fuck? Sorry, I just like flipped the pages like hella ahead and I just saw something really freaky. I'm tired, but first circle, people who were baptized, who didn't know about the Lord, who kind of existed before Jesus and shit like that. I don't even know. Right? I think that's what it said, but that's what I remember. Canto 5. The second circle, the Wanton, Minos, the infernal hurricane, Francesca de Rimini. Thus I descended out of the first circle down to the second, that less space begirds, and so much greater dole that goads to wailing. There standeth Minos horribly, and snarls, examines the transgressions at the entrance, judges and sends according as he girds him. I say that when the spirit evil-born cometh before him, wholly it confesses, and this discriminator of transgressions seeth what place in hell is meet for it, girds himself with his tail as many times as grades he wishes it should be thrust down. Always before him many of them stand, they go by turns, each one unto the judgment, they speak and hear, and then are downward hurled. O thou that this dolorous holstery comest, said Minos to me, when he saw me, leaving the practice so great in an office. And then, there stands Minos, horribly snarls, examine the transgression of the entrance, judges, sends accordingly as he girds them. Here is Minos. He's like, I thought, he would be like Cerberus or something, but, yeah, no, he's just like a dude with a giant snake tail, I'm pretty sure, and like a bunch of, I think those are demons right there, yeah, all that nonsense. Look how thou enterest, and in whom thou truest, let not the portal's amplitude deceive thee, and unto him my guide, why criest thou too? Do not impede his journey fate ordained. It is so willed there where is power to do that which is willed, and ask no further question. And now begin the dulcim notes to grow, audible unto me, now am I come, there where much lamentation strikes upon me. I came to a place mute of all light, which bellows as the sea does in a tempest. If by opposing winds, apostrophe T, so how do you pronounce that? Like, is combated. Hit him with the infernal hurricane that never rests, hurls the spirits onward in its rapine, whirling them around and smiting, it molests them. When they arrive before the precipice, there are the shrieks, the plaints, and the laments. There they blasphemy and puissance divine. I don't know. I understood that unto such a torment the carnal malefactors were condemned, who reason subjugate to appetite. As the wings of starlings bear them on, in the cold season in large band and full, so doth that blast the spirit maldite, It hither, thither, downward, upward, drives them. No hope doth comfort them for evermore, not of repose, but even of lesser pain. So, the infernal hurricane that never rests hurls the spirits onward in its rapine. And that's just all these fucking people just being fucking tossed. Like, that's horrible. Like, that's kind of horrifying, honestly. So, yeah, there's our people right there. There's Dante and Virgil. And then there's the hurricane. But wait, who is this circle of hell for? The Wanton. What does that mean? I kind of forget what Wanton means. I think it means like wild. No, not wanton. Sexually unrestrained or having many casual sexual relationships. Okay. Archaic, a sexually unrestrained woman. So kind of like a nympho or something. Nymphomaniac. Probably. Oh shoot, I need to update my Chrome. Anyways. As the cranes go chanting forth their lays, making in air a long line of themselves, so I saw coming utter lamentations, shadows borne onward by the aforesaid stress, whereupon I said, Master, who are those people whom the black air so castigates? The first of those of whom intelligence thou fain wouldest have. Then he said unto me, the empress was of many languages, to sensual vices she was so abandoned, that lustful she made licit in her law, to remove the blame to which she had been led. She is Semiramis, whom we read that she succeeded Ninus and was his spouse. She held the land which now the Sultan rules. The next is she who killed herself for love and broke faith with the ashes of Sychaeus. Then Cleopatra, the voluptuous. Oh. Helen I saw, for whom so many ruthless seasons revolved, and I saw the great Achilles, who at the last hour combated with love. Paris I saw Tristan, and more than 1,000 shades did he name and point out with his finger, whom love had separated from our life. After that I listened to my teacher, naming the dames of eld and cavaliers. Pity prevailed, and I was nigh bewildered. And I began, O poet, willingly speak what I to those two who go together to seem upon the wind to be so light. He said to me, Thou wilt mark when they shall be nearer to us, and then do thou implore them. By love which leadeth them, they will come. Soon as the wind in our direction sways them, my voice uplift I, O ye weary souls, come speak to us, if no one interdicts them. As turtle doves, called onward by desire, with open and steady wings to the sweet nest fly through the air by their volition borne, so came they from the band where Dido is, approaching us athwart the air malign, so strong was the affectionate appeal. O living creature, gracious and benignant, who visiting goest to the purple air us, who have stained the world in cardamine, if for the King of the universe our friend, we would pray unto him to give thee peace, since thou hast pity on our woe perverse. Of what it pleases thee to hear and speak, that we will hear and we will speak to you, while silent is the wind, as it is now. Sitteth the city where I was born, upon the seashore where the post descends to rest in peace with all his retinue. So then it says, O poet willing, speak what I to those two who go together to seem upon the wind to be so light. So I think this is like two lovers just kind of stuck together in this, like, they just came out of like the crazy ass shit. Oh, girl, you better not. Oh, my nose is itchy. Okay. Love that on gentle heart doth swiftly seized this man for the person beautiful that was ta'en from me, and still the mode offends me. Love that exempts no one beloved from loving seized me with pleasure of this man so strongly that, as thou seest, it doth not yet desert me. Love has conducted us unto one death. Weigheth him who quenched our life. These words were borne along from them to us. As soon as I had heard those souls tormented, I bowed my face, and so long held it down, until the poet said to me, What thinkest? When I made answer, I began, Alas, how many pleasant thoughts, how much desire conducted these unto the dolorous pass. Then unto them I turned Unto them I turned me and spake. I began. Thine agonies, Francesca, sad and compassionate to weeping make me. But tell me at the time of those sweet sighs, by what and in what matter love conceded that you should know your dubious desires. She said to me, there is no greater sorrow than to be mindful of the happy time and misery, and that thy teacher knows. But if to recognize the earliest root of love in us thou hast so great desire, I will do even as he who weeps and speaks. So then they say, love has conducted us into death. Cain waiteth him who quenched our life. These words were born along from them unto us. And then there's the two lovers, Francesca and some other dude. I don't know. Talking to our boys. To our little buddies. How cool. One day we reading were for our delight of Lancelot, how loved in him enthrall, alone we were and without any fear. Full many a time our eyes together drew that reading and drove the color from our faces, but one point only was it that overcame us, when as we read the much longed for smile, being by such a noble lover kissed, this one, who ne'er from me shall be divided, kissed me upon that mouth all palpitating. Galato was the book, and he who wrote it. That day no farther did we read therein. And all the while one spirit uttered this, the other one did weep so, that for pity I swooned away as if I had been dying, and fell, even as a dead body falls. Look, he fucking passed out again. Are we shocked? No. Wait. Hold on. Oh god. Did it stop? Okay, it did stop the recording. Okay, so then that day no farther did we read therein. So I think this is them committing like adultery. Francesca and that dude. I think that's what that is. I don't know. Sex is kind of cool. I don't see what the big idea is. Wait, I'm kind of confused. So I understood the first one, like, people who didn't get baptized or whatever, but I'm really confused about the second circle of hell, Dante's Inferno. I'm kind of confused, so let's read. Those overcome by lust are punished in this circle. They are the first ones to be truly punished in hell. These souls are blown about to and fro by a violent storm without hope or rest. This symbolizes the power of lust to blow one about needlessly and aimlessly. Wow. Yeah, who does Dante meet? So, Dante a great beast examining. Yeah, we know who Minos is. Bitch. Who? Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Calling Francesca by name, he asked her to explain how she and her lover were lured into sin. Francesca replies that Francesca replies that a book of the romance of Lancelot and Guinevere caused their downfall. They were alone, reading out loud, and so many parts of the book seemed to tell their own love. They kissed, and the book was forgotten. We read no more that day. During her story, the other